Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome to Mystics Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here tonight. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. and the Washington Mystics in their first road game of the season. They fell to the Connecticut Sun 477. We were just talking a little bit. It's another one of those games where, it's only two games, so we can't say it's a trend or anything. But one thing I think everyone can agree on, they just got to take better care of the ball. It's costing them a little bit. But that being said, your thoughts on this game?
Um, yeah, I think for this game, honestly, that's where it begins and ends, man. With the turnovers. They had 20 tonight, 14 were live ball. So I mean it's tough to come back from that. I mean, honestly, that was really one of the only negative spots. And they sent Connecticut to the line way too much. They gotta defend without being so handsy. But other than that, I mean, it was definitely some bright spots. Brittany Sykes going down early definitely hurt a lot. Um, she's pretty much taken over primary ball handling responsibilities to start the season. When she went down, it kind of threw things out of whack, so to speak. But I mean, Julie Van Loo, she I like her. I like her a lot, man. 29 minutes tonight, 12 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Um, yeah, she's definitely gonna. That was a solid pickup. And if people were listening through the broadcast, they were talking about how she's been on the radar for years. So that just lets how scouting works in WNBA, how in depth and in tune you have to be with what's going on. Because as we see every year, it's a lot of talent that gets left off, and you got to be ready to fill those voids. So yeah, shout out to the Mystic staff for finally bringing her over. But in regards to this game, yeah, I think it was the turnovers definitely hurt. And they got to finish better. They were pretty much in control of the game around the beginning of the fourth, and then they just let go of the rope, and Connecticut took full advantage, man. And shout out to them; they did their job. Uh, Carly Samuelson, started the game. Her shooting really kept the Mystics in it. When they obviously throughout the game they had troubles holding on to the basketball, but she kept it from getting ugly early because every time it seemed like Connecticut was about to make that push, she hit a big shot. Um, Ariel Atkins had a rough night, but she had the ball in her hands a lot. Was making a lot of decisions, and she had to deal with Dejanay Carrington, who her progression throughout her WNBA career has been something to see, man. She's kept her head down and continuously grinded, and now she's getting the opportunity she's been longing for. She's starting now, and she came out the gates hot. Um, of course, on this season opener, we saw the job she did on Caitlin Clark, and then tonight, she brung it on both ends. So yeah, man, Connecticut, they're one of those teams that they always find themselves in a mix. Even last year after losing Bree Jones, they still found themselves in the conference finals. So yeah, they've been there a few times. They just haven't found a way to punch through the wall yet. It looks like they're trying to rectify that this season. DeWanna Bonner, she she got the fountain of youth, man. Like she still gets after it. And of course, Alyssa Thomas, just the pressure she puts on your team on both ends, man. Offensively, she's gonna bruise you and beat you up. Defensively, she's gonna bruise you and beat you up.
No
So
breaks.
yeah, she's a lot to deal with, man. But yeah, man, the Mystics, it's only 2 games in with a pretty much a new group. They got some things they can lean on, and definitely got some things they gotta shore up as well. But I mean, it can go one or two ways here. if the things they struggle with don't get cleaned up, then we're going to see a lot of games like this because they've lost their two opening games kind of in similar fashion. If they clean those things up, then they're going to win a lot of games because pretty much everything else is kind of is kind of trending in the right direction. Also, of course, a lot of this depends on what's going on with Sykes. Hopefully, this injury isn't anything serious and won't keep her off the floor for a long time. So definitely sending positive vibes her way. But yeah, man, just another tough loss. Yeah, if they could have just held on a little bit longer at the end, and stopped Connecticut from that big run, then we're looking at a different result tonight.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. Simply we talked about this during the NBA season, not necessarily for the team that's shares the same city as the Mystics, but just sometimes like it's a different group. This group has to learn how to win together. It's gonna be one of those things, and through the first two games, what has it been two teams with with a little bit of turnover, but for the most part, like they're big guns, continuity. Um, the Liberty's been together a little bit. Sun has been, the main cogs on the Sun been together for a little bit. And like you said, shout out to DJ Carrington. That's what the W is about, bro. Is finding a way to stick, develop, improve. And after two games, she's definitely like, can you think anybody else is even in that conversation for most improved, anything like that right now? Like she's like she took a giant lead off third, and we're like two games in. Like that's where she's at. But again, think about what she's done for like what she means to this team. She's a big like that's a big defender on the perimeter. You already know what you have in Dewana. You mentioned AT and the hell that he brings on both ends. But yeah, just the turnovers, man. Washington, and I was encouraged with the way I thought Washington matched the physicality of Connecticut fairly well, because that's something every team has to deal with. Like you said, Connecticut's gonna put paws on you. Everybody. 1 through 13, there's only 12 people allowed to be out there. It feels like there's 13 and 14 sometimes. You are not going to cross that lane without getting touched. You're not going anywhere on that court without somebody applying a hand or two. Um, and I thought they matched the physicality pretty well. It was very close on the glass. Like you mentioned, the turnovers. Last game and this game, just the turnovers. We saw the Liberty get off to somewhat of a similar run to start the fourth quarter in a season opener. Same thing happened tonight for the Sun in the fourth quarter. I think it was like a 13-3 run or something like that. But credit the I thought they regained their poise in this game better than they did in the season opener. And obviously, it's a little bit it's a little bit easier to do that with Sykes on the court. Season opener is no Sykes late. That said, I think we've all mentioned they're going to be led by what they do on the defensive end of the floor. They just got to clean up the bad, like just weird things offensively. And even then, to me, I mean, we'll see as time goes on. Feels like some of the stuff is still just like kind of the getting to know you. They just don't have the luxury of like it's not an 82 game season. That's the part that hurts against that is there's only so much room, room for error you might have. But like even on offense at times, like sometimes they do a good job spacing. Other times, like someone cuts at the wrong moment, not knowing exactly what someone else is thinking at that time, or some of the passes are really good ideas, but they're either too late or like they're too late and shouldn't have been made. And then sometimes go with the decision making. Even how the game ended, like that last possession they had with the chance to, you're not tying it up at that moment, but what would have been 82-77 at that moment? You would have had a chance to score, possibly foul or what have you. See what happens. You send somebody to the line, but Ty Harris jumps in the passing lane and boom, it's 84-77. We're done. Um, but I think that I think that was really it. I'm where you are with it. They just got to find a way to close games better. But the turnovers got to clean that up. You just have to. Player of the game for you.
Uh, oh man. Hmm, I'm gonna go DB, man.
You go with
Um,
DB. Okay.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna fight you on that. So,
she I think she had some big moments, man. You know, especially down the stretch. I think you're gonna go with the person I got for X Factor. I'm gonna see if my crystal ball is is in effect here.
all right, well, look for X Factor. I'm pulling a you in X Factor, so you're gonna be half right and then half wrong with X Factor. I can guarantee you that. But yeah, it's DB, man. I thought she also did it like again. It's another low scoring game that Washington ends up in. Um, I thought she did a great job. Her length showed up late
Mhm.
down the stretch. I think she bothered Kara a couple times where Bree and AT couldn't bother her at times because of Kara had the length advantage at 6'5", 6'6". BB 6'5", 6'6" with the longest arms in the world. And there's a reason she's compared to somebody else like on the men's side where their arms just keep reaching on forever. But I thought her length really affected things down the stretch. And 6 steals is crazy, man. 6 steals is crazy. We already know she's gonna score. So like she didn't even shoot the ball well. So credit Washington for that. Like, but I think one of the plays they run where she's cutting back door, it's unfair. You're passing to what a 6'6" guard, cutting back door, and on that switch, if the screen is a good screen, it's 6'6" against 5'10", 6 foot. Either way, she doesn't see you. But X Factor, who did we pick for X Factor, right?
Oh, Dejanay Carrington.
Yes, yes, that's half of my X Factor as well. Both ends of the floor, man. Once again, she did it first game for them. She did it tonight as well. And then I threw Van Loo in there for what she had to do stepping up in
Mm.
Sykes' absence. Just like I'm not surprised, but still, like that was huge tonight to step up in that moment because this could have went left when you lose your primary ball handler. And again, I know she's the 30, 31-year-old rookie or whatnot, but it's your first time in a W. Like,
Yeah, it's different. It's different.
and like, I had in my little notes, I was like, one of the things is she just like we've been talking about some for certain other young rookie guards or whatever. Like she still has to find out what passes work and what passes don't. But I think it's gonna be a quicker transition because she's a former pro. And the sauce, like just the sauce and the flair, Cardell called it, be a fan favorite. There was no reason to hit the no look to care late in the game, but when it's naturally part of what it is that you do, I can't get mad. It wasn't forced anything. Truly enjoyed that part of it. But again, DJ Carrington, and then I guess like I'm gonna do like honorable mention. Ty Harris is coming along. She's finding her role in
Mhm.
Connecticut as well, slowly but surely. Um, but yeah, those two are just demons in terms of perimeter defenders in the backcourt, man. Gotta love it. Up next for Washington, they host Seattle. They got a couple big guns over there. Jewel. She got some help. Some of her friends this year are a little bit older than the kids she was playing with last year. So we'll see how that goes, but we'll check it with you guys Sunday afternoon. Appreciate y'all as always for tuning in, and we'll see y'all later.